Hey guys, Soldier here coming at you with another video, this time on experience, and here's the Storm, the different ways to gain experience and what to prioritize. So I'm just going to break down the different forms of experience in the game first and compare them. The first form of experience doesn't affect you too much as it can't be controlled, but both teams get it, and that's called trickle XP. If you see, I've just been sitting in base this entire time, and I only have 800 XP, which comes from 2 different turrets. All the rest of the XP in this game is just from the trickle XP mechanic. So 17 minutes in, I've gotten 8 extra levels for free. I'm at level 9. And as you can see, the XP bar is just slowly going up. And this is just XP that everyone gets over time called trickle XP. And the main reason for this is to make the game a little bit less snowbally and make it so it just kind of progresses the game overall. An example would be if you're playing Haunted Mines and there's only 2 lanes on this map. If the other team knows what they're doing, if they have the level 10 to level 9 advantage, they can really abuse that and make it so you get denied XP in both lanes until the next mine phase starts. And then once the mine phase starts, they can go in and get 100 skulls, and there's not much you can do because they have that tier advantage and you're denied XP. And getting that 100 skull can almost win them the game right there. And just really snowball the game in their favor. So even if you're getting denied XP in lane, there's still this little factor of trickle XP that'll kind of boost you along and help you get level 10 so you can contest and keep playing the game. Another example of how this works and how it might affect you in a game is, let's say you're playing on Cursed Hollow and a tribute spawns and you push out mid lane really quick and then you push out top lane and you're contesting the tribute. Well, if you're just short of 10 and you don't have any other way to get XP, instead of sending one of your players all the way down to bottom to get a little bit of XP and giving up the tribute, if you're close enough, you can just poke for a couple seconds and then you'll still get that little bit of XP over time and you'll hit 10 and you can still contest them at certain map objectives. So that's the first form of XP. The second form of XP is gained through player kills. Player kills are worth about 400 XP each, which is basically 1 Minion Wave right here. But there's a hidden factor called the underdog bonus. And the underdog bonus is the further behind you are in XP, the more XP you get per kill. But the further ahead you are in XP compared to the other team, the less XP you get. So this can range anywhere from getting about a third of a level, or getting about a third of a kill worth of XP to getting about 3 times as much XP, depending on whether or not you're behind or ahead. And the main impact this has on you is if you're ahead, you want to make sure that you're not making risky plays. Because if you're trading, if you're tower diving and you get a kill 1-for-1, you really lose out on a lot of XP. If you're ahead and you're getting a third of XP, but he's getting 3 times as much XP, then all you're doing is helping the other team catch up. So usually when you get ahead, you focus a lot more on getting your XP through minions and through pushing down their forts or fighting over the map objective instead of going blow for blow with somebody and trading kills. And then the rest of the XP is gained through PvE, which would be minions, mercenaries, and turrets. And so minions, each wave you get about 400 XP. Mercenaries start at about 100 and scale throughout the game. And then turrets, like fort turrets, are 400 and double at 800 for the fort. And then keep turrets are 650 and the keep is doubled at 1300. So as you can see, the majority of the XP comes through laning and getting minions. The main way to compare this is every minion wave being 400. You have to multiply that by 3 because most maps have 3 different lanes. And then you gotta count that every single every 30 seconds, another minion wave spawns. So if you're getting each minion wave every 30 seconds, that's a keep's worth of XP throughout the entire game for getting all 3 lanes of soak. So most of your decisions in the game should be based around, is somebody getting XP in lane? is someone getting the Minion Wave. So if you decide that at some point in the game you're going to leave lane to go gank mid, if you don't get that kill, then you're going to be falling behind in XP. And if you leave lane to go get ogres, then even though you got a little bit of XP from ogres, if you don't make it back to lane in time, then you're going to be losing out on about 400 XP. And that makes a huge difference. That can be the deciding factor between winning and losing a game, because if you're ahead a few levels, it makes it much, much easier to win the game. So because laning is so important, I decided to tell you guys a few tips and tricks that you can do in lane to gain extra XP or deny enemies XP. The main thing would be, in this game you do not have to last hit. All you have to do is be within range and you'll get XP from the minions. So if you're losing a lane or you're at a disadvantage in lane because you're facing off versus 2 or 3 heroes, what you can do is just stay in range to get XP. And so you can just go back and forth. Like right now I don't have to be anywhere near the minions, even though I wouldn't technically get XP. And then when they get low, I can just move up on my mount, get the XP, and then just run away. And so you're kind of doing this kiting thing back and forth, where you just have to move in for XP really quick, get it, and then just move out. And then that way you'll take the least amount of harass as possible, and you can stay in lane much, much longer. Also, if that's not working, one trick that most maps have is there's brush or fog of war, and you can still get XP through walls and in the fog of war. And so even if the other team thinks they're denying you XP, if you just sit in a bush and hide, you can usually get XP without getting harassed out of lane. Another trick would be idling the lane. One thing that I see a lot of people do, which is a mistake, is if they harass someone out of lane and they're going back to base, they'll just start pushing the wave as hard as they can. And what happens is there's a snowball type effect where your minions don't die, and you want your minions to die when they're out of lane. So if someone isn't in lane, it can be really good to just sit here in a bush and let the minions die. Let these minions kill these minions, because you're going to deny more XP this way than actually just pushing your wave to their turrets, where they can actually make it back in time and then soak that XP. If you're on a big enough map, which you don't see this very often because the lanes in this game are really short from your turrets to their turrets, there's usually not very much room until you get to the very late game where it doesn't really matter as much, but this is where the lanes extend and you can really start to deny some XP if you wanted to. But at this point you're really just shoving out lanes. So really this only works on the bigger maps like Blackheart's Bay, where the lane phase is extended. But if you have a minion wave building up like this, what you can do is on the enemy team, they could sit here, let all these minions die, and then hold the minions by just taking the damage, just standing here and taking the damage from the ranged minions until their next minion wave comes. So these minions will die insanely fast. And if I'm stronger than whoever I'm facing up against, then I can sit here, tank the minions until the next minion wave comes, and then go out here and just start zoning and start killing the other person while these minions kill all of my minions. And that doesn't happen very often, but if you can abuse that, it's a really great way to deny XP. And the next tip is if you are in lane and map objective spawns, like on Cursed Hollow. If a tribute spawns, one of the best things you can do if you have a strong laner like Jaina is shove a lane right before you rotate. So let's say that this tribute just spawned and I'm on Jaina. I can drop a blizzard and a cone of cold to kill all these minions instantly, and then I can just start roaming up. And this puts the other player on the other team, they have to make a hard decision. They have to decide whether or not they sit there for an extra 5 to 10 seconds to soak the minion wave that's coming towards their turret, which is a huge amount of XP. It's 400 XP, or a player kill. Or they can rotate along with you and then get denied that kill. So it's like you got a free kill for nothing. If they roam at the same time as you, you just got a free kill because they got denied an entire minion wave. But if they stay there and soak the minion wave, then they're 5 to 10 seconds late to this tribute, which means because it's 5v4, you can just start playing super aggressive to defend this, and you'll get a free tribute. So either way, it's a win-win to shove out the lane as hard as you can right before you rotate. And then the final tip would be, if you get low in lane and they're really just bullying you really hard, but they're pushing the lane pretty hard, if you have ammo in your turrets, what you can do is you'll get harassed really hard, but don't back immediately. Let them push the minions to your turrets and then safely soak behind your turrets. And you'll be able to soak all the XP, and then you'll be able to make it back to your base, full heal, and still make it back in time before the next minion wave reaches your turrets again. And that way you won't get denied any XP. So even though you're low and it's risky, if your turrets have ammo still, you can just sit there behind your turrets and soak the XP safely before you go back to base. So I hope you learned a little bit about how experience works in Heroes and some tips and tricks that you can use in lane next time you play. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.